that result again. Jones 10.91, Arnold 10.99, Gaines, who's certainly running well enough to take a place in the American team, and Sturrock both running 11.01, and Edwards 11.08, you see, so Miller only the fourth American on that form.
Well, switching quickly from the women to the men, and this is quite a lineup too. Something to whet the appetite here, including Maurice Greene, who runs in lane 5. The triple gold medalist at the World Championships last year is perhaps not in great form so far this year at the 100 metres. He's been second in Helsinki and fourth in Athens recently. There he is, number 1. And that race in Athens won by one of the athletes in this race, Greg Sadler of the United States also. He's in lane 7. Maurice is prowling again, as he always does prior to the start of most of these races. Atu Bolden there, also one to look out for, the reigning Commonwealth 100 metre champion this year so far. There's one in Martinique at 200, and first in the Port of Spain at 100 metres as well. 25 running in lane 4. There's a line-up: Dwayne Chambers, Montgomery, Lewis, Bolden, Greene, Obikwelu, Sadler, Thompson and Drummond. 4 Americans in this field of 8. The gold number 1 in that caption there against Brian Lewis was the fact that he actually won the first of these Golden League events in Paris. And remember, you've got to win 5 of the 7 in the series to take part in the overall picture for that $1 million prize. But the big man is prowling, as I said before. He likes to do this. There's a bit of psyching out, I think. Goes way down the track and comes back again. Just tapping Atu Bolden on the shoulder. Another one to look out for is Obikwelu, if we can just perhaps not see him at the moment, but he's in this race in lane 6. Very good form, but disqualified in Athens at the 100 metres, and everybody thought that that would be a disappointment because he was actually in terrific form.
Yes, disqualified for 2 false starts rather than for anything else, and he looked terrific in his heat, and he then went on later to win at 200 metres, and it did look as if he had taken that form into the 100-metre race itself, that he might well have won it.
There's Obikwelu. You can just see him in the all-grey strip just to the right of Maurice Greene in red. Looking at Atu Bolden here. Middle of the picture, but going through it again. Dwayne Chambers of Great Britain, the European silver medalist at 100 metres in lane 1, wearing number 2. There he is, returning from a hamstring injury, so we have to wait and see what sort of form he is. Then number 8, Tim Montgomery, bronze in the 97 World Championships, 3rd in Athens recently. Then Brian Lewis, as I said, who beat Maurice Greene in Helsinki recently. He's in lane 4. Then the little Atu Bolden, the reigning Commonwealth champion, in next to the lane of perhaps the favourite, I suppose, but Maurice Greene isn't in great form. Shakes his head a little bit. Have to wait and see what he can do here. Then, as I said, perhaps the dark horse in the field, Francis Obikwelu of Nigeria. Surprise winner, perhaps, in Athens. Greg Sadler runs in lane 7. Obadali Thompson, 4th in the Olympic finals in 8. And then the enigmatic John Drummond, as we say, in lane 9. With Maurice Greene being introduced to the Olympic Stadium here in Rome, licking his lips in anticipation of what is to come. It's going to be tough for him, it really is. There's Greg Sadler, who's already taken his sculpt once this year, looking down the track. But Maurice Greene, I watched him in Eugene over 200 metres, looked in superb form. Maybe not so sharp in the 100 metres yet, but he doesn't like to be beaten. And maybe the other sense that he's not in 100% shape at the moment. Wait and see. One last deep breath before they go down to the blocks. Let's run through the lane order again in the men's 100 metres. Dwayne Chambers of Great Britain, Montgomery United States, Lewis United States, Bolden Trinidad, Greene United States, Obikwelu Nigeria, Sadler United States, Thompson of the Bahamas, and then John Drummond making up the quartet of Americans in this race. in lane 9. The crowd calming down now for the start of this race. Away first time. Greene got a good start, but so too did Atu Bolden on his left, and it's Bolden at the moment, but Greene is closing him down. Greene is starting to edge ahead, and he is Obikwelu coming hard at the end, but I think it's Greene easily, Obikwelu maybe, and Bolden for second place. But the winning time under 10 seconds for Maurice Greene, 9.97. And I think you can see by the reaction he needed that race to bring his confidence back for the 100 metres. There's the number 1 for Maurice Greene, indicating the first of his victories in the Golden League. Well, there's been a slight question mark over his form in the 100 metres, but I think that race tonight dispels it all. Bolden, I think, maybe got second, but Obikwelu was finishing fast.
The reaction time showing that Bolden was quickest away, just ahead of, well, with Sadler and just ahead of Greene. But Obikwelu very slowly away. He was the slowest, and there were two interesting things in this race, I think. One, Maurice Greene is definitely back. He's the world #1 sprinter, the man in red in lane 5. But look out for Obikwelu. Now he's at least a metre, almost 2 metres down at the moment on Greene's immediate right. Watch how fast he finishes. Maurice Greene, though, has regained the scalps of men like Brian Lewis, but Obikwelu's getting pretty close there at the finish.
Well, I think we've seen tonight some interesting sprinting, because as we saw in the women's race, the favourites are on form, and the others really have got to find something in terms of their technique in races. Greene, I think, was determined to win here tonight, to prove to people that he was back in the sort of form that's going to carry him through to the Olympic golds, perhaps in 1 and 2. But he's looking around. He knows it's not going to be easy, and he's worked all the way to that line.
Yes, he looks to his left, and he's seeing there Bolden and Lewis, who obviously rates highly. If he'd looked right, he might have seen Obikwelu get a bit close as well. The man just out of the picture.
Well, Obikwelu came so fast at the end that I don't think he had a chance to see him, the same as Aaron did in the women's. And those two have got to get their act together in terms of improving their start. Because, like Jones, Greene has not got a department of his race where he is weak. Look at Obikwelu to Greene's right, coming so close in the end. Well, having said that, there's only one victor in the race, and it's this man, and he goes round on his lap of honour.
And he's just run his season's fastest time. It's confirmed at 9.97.
You can see from that, though, Peter, how close Obikwelu did come in the end, almost.
Absolutely. He's been
almost merging, I would say, with the vest of Greene.
Well, he's been given 10.00. That's a little bit down. You can see Greene shading ahead. But what was important, I think, in the last 10 metres or so, there is no question but that Obikwelu gained very considerably on Greene. And when Greene sees the replay of that race, he'll know that if this man Obikwelu were to get a perfect start, then he's going to be a real handful.
Well, he's a happy man now, and so he should be.
Bolden also ran very well. He's been given 10 seconds exactly, the same time as Obikwelu. Brian Lewis, 10.02.